Steve, you actually read ahead, didn't you?
No.
Because this was your.
Oh, well, hey, we'll just rewind, cut that out, stick that here. Absolutely. I have worked with people like you who are strong business heads who are good on the front end and maybe on the back end. And my background is primarily sales and marketing. I'm really good at the now phase, the hyper growth phase. I've worked with really good technical people who are better at the steady state and, maintaining the health of a product over time, which I have little patience with. So I think, between the three of us, we're probably almost one good product manager.
Absolutely.
What do you think of? I mean, we talked about it before when we were talking about the roles, the three roles. What's your take on how does product management need to change as it moves through the life cycle?
I am now thinking the way Steve's thinking is that we need to have roles. We just went through this role mandate thing at the office, and we're assuming the assumption we're making is that a product manager should be able to handle the life cycle of a product. And
and
I've
that's the
always,
premise I reject.
yeah, and I agree with you. And I've always said, when we're going through this, I said, that you have product managers that are working on mature architectures that's going to be different than a product manager that's working on something that's relatively new to the market and growing. But we sort of said, product manager, here's your thing. I like the way you put it, Steve, and it reinforces some of the things that I was thinking earlier when we were going through our role mandates. And I think that's right. I think that if I had my way and I could structure the organization, I probably would structure it differently. You said it yesterday on our call where you have product marketing serves a role, there's product strategy, there's a growth person, there's that sales engineer, or we call it a product specialist that actually interacts with the sales organization. And then you got this guy somewhere in the middle called the product manager. And I don't know of any company that breaks it down like that much, but it's a
Well, you
great
know
way
what
to
it
think.
is? It's the equivalent of doctor. Product manager is the equivalent of doctor. You're like, I need to go to a doctor. I call 1-800 the doctor and say, I need some help, doctor. And they go, well, wait, hang on. What is your issue? Is it your left ear or your right ear? Because we need to send you to the appropriate specialist, right? So there's 1,000 different specialties within medical, right? Within doctor. And yet, I mean, so it's almost like product manager is now like a salutation. We need to call you, product manager Johnson. And what is your specialty? Well, I'm an internist. I'm a growth guy. I'm a technical debt guy.
It's interesting you say that, because I would always say, if somebody said, I'd say I'm in product management, but I would always say my specialty is new products. I'm not the guy you call if you have something that's aging, and I'm the front end innovation, bring it to market guy. I want to birth it. I want to have all the fun getting pregnant and birthing the thing, and then I want to give it off to the adoptive parents to raise.
Right. So you're an obstetrician.
And I'm a gerontologist.
That's right.
Is that the
or an undertaker?
Well, but the thing is, Rob, we laugh about that, but you see job descriptions, for positions, sometimes it's just a product manager, but sometimes it's a experience taking new products, right, to market. And sometimes the ones I always tended to get were the, turnaround ones, right? But
which
the
would
reality
make sense given your skill set.
Yeah, but given, it's a circle. My turnaround stuff, 9 times out of 10 was launching a new product. Now, launching a new product from a base, so you already have it. I mean, this is where you get back to Ansofs, right? That's why I'm such a lover of Ansofs. Is my job was always to figure out, okay, yes, market penetration is full. Okay, what are our options? And the options were always,
New markets or new products.
I never did diversification or end of life, right? It's lived its either we're 5 miles past where we should have turned and it's too late, or the need has gone away, right? And needs change and emerge, and that's why every S curve is different, right? If BlackBerry's S curve was, they didn't take into consideration 2007 and the iPhone, right? They thought they were still in the growth portion, but factors outside of their, well, you could argue if outside of their control or not, because I know that they talk to the carriers, not the customers. But there's a time where you see them ask for specialty if it's front end or back end. And
yeah, and think one more rant. We do the same thing with salespeople. Is this guy a hunter or a
farmer,
gatherer,
hunter, yeah.
right? And you're like, how? So anyway, I that's a good way to finish up. I think the big challenge of product management is that product management means so many different things, and we ought to have maybe new titles or at least specialty areas as we mature the profession.
I love that idea.